If going too far was a person, it'd be Pastor Mike Todd. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Pastor Mike Todd of Transformation Church, a mega church out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, before I go any further and say anything else, if you're squeamish, if you just had lunch and you had some burritos, nachos, or whatever, you might not want to watch this video because it's going to get gross. I'm going to try to skip around it a little bit, and I'll place the original video in the description box if you want to see it in full for yourself, but it's going to get gross. Now, back to the story. So he was trying to illustrate Mark 8:23, well, 8:22-24, basically how Jesus spit on a blind man's eyes and allowed him to see. I'm not quite sure if that's the story, how it really went. If you look at NIV, KJV, it'll be a little bit different, but that's generally what he was trying to illustrate with what he did. Now, what he did was just go way too far. And before I say anything else, let's just watch it together because we need to see what's going on here. Again, if you want to see the full thing, there's a full sermon of this, so I'm not just leaving it out of context. That'll be in the box. But we're going to do with this right here. And please pardon the quality. I don't want this jet lag preacher to try and strike my video, but let's continue.
Changing something and you don't see it clearly yet, but you hear.
Now, I'm gonna skip around a little bit in this video. Maybe there may be some weird cuts here because it's just nasty. As you may have seen, if I didn't cut it out, he literally hocked a loogie and spit into his hand. So he's preparing to do the demonstration. Matter of fact, let me get my headphones so I can really be immersed with you guys, since you got to be immersed in it as well.
And this is where most people would not face Jesus anymore. What most people would do is turn away.
I mean, look, okay, you spit in your hand. I'm not really trying to be part of that. And by the way, that's his actual brother, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's his blood brother. Some people say that's not necessarily his brother, but I think that is his actual brother on stage right there with him. So this is pretty embarrassing already. This is nasty. All the sounds and stuff is disgusting. It's just totally nasty. Hey, I warned y'all. I promise. If you are throwing up right now, I promise I warned you. It's not my fault, okay? But let's continue.
What I'm telling you is just as he's physically standing here, knowing what's coming. God's saying, can you physically and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand when getting the vision or receiving it might get nasty? I'm going to say it in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty.
This is nasty. So, you know, the thing about it, I'm pausing again, and sorry for pausing, but I had to just say things here and there so you won't get striked. This little thing right here, this little graphic lets me know this was thought about. They thought about doing this. It's a production behind it. It wasn't just, okay, we just did this and we're kind of flowing and whatnot. Nah, this is a pretty well orchestrated sermon with a whole team at the mega church behind him. A lot of money, a lot of people that are behind this. It's not just him just on there. You know, I've been to small town churches, of course, being from West Virginia originally. I done seen and then John, you know, I come from that type of, I seen him just kind of go on there and riff a little bit, but this right here is not that, but I will digress.
You mean, God, I just bought, in crazy faith, I just bought my dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty. Do you hear and see the responses?
Okay, I kind of cut that part out, because there was literally spit hanging off his face and he smeared it on his face. He smeared it on his face. Again, if you want to see that, if you just have to see stuff like that that's really gross and disgusting and nasty, then you're welcome to the links in the box.
Of the people. What I'm telling you is how you just reacted is how the people in your life will react when God is doing what it takes for the miracle. What are you saying? This man was blind, and what he was trying to do with this man is give him his DNA.
Okie dokie. All righty. Pastor Mike Todd, ladies and gentlemen, of Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sir. Now, okay, like I'm gonna say this to shoot him a little bit of bail, as a cool kid say. He did apologize afterward. He put an apology on Instagram, and you can't comment on that, by the way. There's no comments on the Instagram page. All you could do is just listen to what he said. And again, I linked to that in the box. He said, I look back and it was pretty disgusting and I apologize. But check out the sermon though, because there's a lot of information in that sermon. Okay, all right. I know, you got to promote all the time. You should just say, I apologize, I'm not going to do it no more, and that's it. But hey, man, you steadily in woke pastor, jet-lag pastor, got to get the money mode, right? You're still in that mode, so you got to promote your sermon and promote your church, because a lot of eyes are on your page right now because of what you did. And what he said in his apology is correct. He says he does shocking things like that to get your attention, basically to get you to hear the message, to get you to hear the word. But see, you don't have to smear a handful of spit on someone's face to get the message, to get the word out there. And your own brother at that, anybody do something like that too. That's like the ultimate. I would never. If you got a piece of spit on me by accident and you don't say I'm sorry, then we might have to go ahead and fight, because that's just general courtesy. But if you spit on me or wipe something on me now, that's assault. That's like punching me in my face. I have no choice. But at that point, I have to defend myself. I'm not even trying to be Mr. Tough Guy, because I'm not Mr. Tough Guy. I'm just a regular normie, really. But you do something like that to me, then I got to get my blade in. We got to do whatever. That was really ridiculous. And you know what? Mike Todd, I've seen before. I've seen him on some of these pages, like Preachers and Sneakers on Instagram, which is a great page, by the way. Preachers and Sneakers, what they do is they highlight some of these preachers that wear really expensive shoes. Matter of fact, I think the second most recent post was from Mike Todd on the Preachers and Sneakers Instagram page. He had on some Yeezys on stage at church that are worth like $1,100 or something like that. Okay, I don't like that. And this kind of turns a lot of men off from the church. A lot of men get turned off. See, a lot of women, and you call me misogynist or whatever, that's fine, but I'm going to just lay it out because I understand the way this whole thing works. This is the reason why I'm not really involved with church like that, especially not the black church or mega church like Joel Osteen. These guys, I'm not really with it. Here's why. It's because it's become really predatory, trying to latch on to the emotions and feelings of women, because they know that women are more sensitive and feeling people and men are more logical and analytical. Now, I'm not saying every man is 100% analytical like a machine or something like that from the Watchmen. It's not quite like that necessarily. And I'm not saying women are just irrational 100% and have no ability to understand logic. I'm not saying that, but generally we operate differently. So the churches prey upon the women's emotions to get them involved so they can continue to attend and to bring their kids and maybe string the husband along so they can get money. That's what it all boils down to. And they do things like this to get attention online. And they floss right in front of you, because that's the same thing that women are attracted to when you're talking about basketball players and football players. These athletes, they go to the club wearing jewelry and expensive stuff. That lets the woman know, oh, he's got some money. He's somebody I want to pay attention to, versus the regular normally in a pair of New Balances is kind of turned over, 45 degrees to the left. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And men at a certain point are not attracted to that. I'm not trying to see this jet-lagged, ridiculous, woke, disgusting pastor spit on some man in the church, trying to get some attention on Instagram and stuff like that. I don't want to see that. Long gone are the days of the popular preacher being the centerpiece of the community. My granddad told me that at one point, The preacher was the only one that could read in the black community. You had to go to him just to get information, to be able to understand what's going on in the world. You needed the pastor, you needed the preacher, but now it's not quite that way. It's not quite that way. And what has happened is that it's become more of a money-making enterprise. You know, that's really what it is. And guys like myself are turned off. Totally turned off. He apologized, and that's great, fantastic for him. But I would never go to his church, ever. Just seeing them on Instagram, flossing, as they say, wearing all kind of expensive hip-hop rapper, rocker type clothes, okay? Just seeing that turns me off. Now, I'm not saying he can't have anything nice for himself. I'm not saying he got to come to church looking like a bum. I'm not saying that. But you can go to Jose Bank and catch a sale, get a suit for like $200, get it tailored right quick for $15 from the Chinese lady and call it a day. Get a pair of floor shines, Stacey Adams, and you be looking very nice. That's all I wear. And I look great in my suits if I do say so myself. Okay, when I wear a suit, I'm looking good, but I don't spend a tremendous amount of money. For what? Why? I'm not a rapper. I'm not an athlete or something like that trying to portray an image. I'm not trying to go to the club and pick up on these groupies or nothing like that. And the pastor most certainly shouldn't be that guy. So the Mike Todd, man, I have no words for you, man. That was disgusting. That was gross. But I've already written them off before this because I see how he portrays himself. I see how he dresses. And not just him, not just the black church, but a lot of these woke mega church pastors in general, whether they be white, black, Puerto Rican, Kenny Stripe. A lot of these spoken word people, win songs, stuff like that, just trying to get money. All this new age ridiculous nonsense turn guys like me off. And you wondering, hey, ABO, why aren't you religious? Well, guys like that. And again, I'm not trying to say that's all preachers and all pastors, but I see too much of that. I see too much of it. And even before that, I would see him on Instagram flossing and other guys that are just like him and the big flock following behind him. I know what's right and what's wrong. I'm not necessarily a church kind of guy, maybe. Maybe if I found a good church where it didn't have all this drama going on and ridiculous stuff and woke stuff and attacking the emotion, I may go back. But for right now, I'm good. And thank guys like him and many others, not just him, hundreds of other guys that are just like him for the way I feel right now today. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Pastor Mike Todd did? Is gross the word? Is disgusting the word? I just had some Chipotle just now, keep it all the way real, and I'm trying to not vomit. You understand what I'm saying? It was nasty, keeping it all the way real. But was it not that bad? Was it a good message? Trying to portray Mark 8:23, spit on the blind man's eyes, made him see. Is that even the story? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I stand. I was really heated about this one, and I had to do a video about it. It may not be politically related, but it's an issue that needs to get addressed. It most certainly does. And I don't think that this is going to stop a lot of these guys from doing things like this because I'm talking about it. The media are talking about it. It made TMZ. It's all over the Instagrams, all over Twitter. It's a hot topic. Yes, it's negative publicity, but like they say, sometimes any publicity is good publicity. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.